All right, everyone. Up next, we have a talk on native stablecoins in Cosmos from Jelena, CEO and co-founder at Noble. Please give a warm round of applause.
Yay! Thank you. It's very serendipitous. This is happening at the same time as the Fireblocks conference. So I came to Barcelona for the annual Fireblocks conference, which is happening right now. And anyways, it's really nice to be here among friends. So I'm Jelena. I'm the co-founder of Noble. So I've been a core contributor to the Cosmos ecosystem for more than 5 years. I got really excited about Cosmos as a philosophy, as a tech stack, because to me it is the perfect, approach to building new blockchain infrastructure. This idea of app chains and permissionless communication through protocols like IBC is just very beautiful. It's very flexible, and it, to me, is how societies should be organized. Like this idea of kind of bottom-up, grassroots, peer-to-peer, connections. And so, yeah, a very, very big, proponent of the Cosmos ecosystem. And so I'll be talking about Noble and what we bring to the Cosmos ecosystem specifically. Okay, so let's begin. So Noble is purpose-built for stablecoins. So obviously, stablecoins are a huge application of blockchains. After Bitcoin and ETH, I think the total market cap of stablecoins is probably the third largest kind of asset if you combine Tether, USDC, and others. And so for a lot of you who probably remember, we had a project in the Cosmos ecosystem called Terra. And so Terra, of course, was a huge disaster for all of crypto, but it was actually a very big disaster for Cosmos specifically, because we had the Terra chain with UST, supposed to be a stablecoin with pegged to the dollar that ended up, completely collapsing. And so overnight, you had $40 billion of market cap, of liquidity, just completely gone. And so this really was a huge, huge, huge problem for Cosmos projects that relied on stablecoin liquidity to, offer superior applications like in the DeFi space and so on. So had this idea for Noble, which would be a purpose-built chain, an app chain, for stablecoin issuance. So we would work with issuers like Circle and others in the ecosystem to onboard them to Cosmos and to make them feel comfortable with Cosmos as a stack, but also as an ecosystem. So obviously, Cosmos is both a stack and an ecosystem. And so, so that's kind of the background of Noble, but let's kind of go deeper into how Noble actually works. And I don't know if this is working. Okay, oh, perfect. Okay, so as I said, Noble is purpose-built for stablecoin issuance. So in Cosmos, we have dozens of application-specific blockchains with their own validator set, with their own native tokens, with different security properties, and also different VMs, right? You have Cosmos SDK, you have the EVM, you have CosmWasm. So as a stack, it's highly modular. And so we needed to make Noble fit all of those use cases and more. So we made sure to build Noble to be highly, highly purpose-built. We didn't start to create, a DEX or an AMM or, even a bridge. What we wanted to do was take advantage of the existing properties of the Cosmos stack, things like Tendermint, things like IBC, to make Noble as minimal and as flexible as possible to be able to proliferate stablecoins across the ecosystem. So we currently, this is wrong. We are currently doing about $900 million of volume on a monthly basis. So if you look at Map of Zones, we're consistently the top 1, 2, 3rd chain. Why is that? Well, that's because everybody, of course, needs stablecoins for various purposes. So yeah, we're about $900 million of IBC volume on a 30-day period. We've grown to over 530 million of TVL. A lot of people in crypto actually, kind of make jokes about Cosmos. There's no, users or builders. This is absolutely not true. We're actually the 5th largest protocol with native USDC in all of crypto after Ethereum, Solana, Arbitrum. We're connected to dozens of Cosmos chains. So this is the beautiful part about Cosmos, this idea of permissionless interoperability, right? So the IBC protocol is this very, very genius way of connecting two distinct blockchain environments, right? So 2 distinct Cosmos chains with their own validator sets, and having an ability to permissionlessly, of course, send value or any type of data between those environments. And so, unlike custodial bridges like layer 0, where you have, perhaps a misalignment of incentives, with IBC, there is no token, there is nobody you have to ask, right? If there are 2 chains that need to communicate, to pass, data like USDC, you can just spin that up pretty seamlessly. So we launched Cosmos native USDC about a year ago. We are currently among the growing fastest, again, protocols in all of crypto with native USDC. And we actually have 20 times more adoption than the nearest project in the ecosystem that also does stablecoins, says they do stablecoin issuance, which is Kava and Tether, right? So again, we built Noble to be extremely specifically focused on stablecoins. So if you're a developer, a company, and you want to build a Cosmos chain, and you have IBC, in fact, this can extend outside of Cosmos as well, which we can maybe talk about. You have that instant liquidity out of the box. You don't need to go to Circle for permission. You don't need to go to, any other entity for permission. Okay, so obviously we started with native USDC, and that's a huge unlock because, of course, it's the second largest dollar stablecoin in all of crypto. But we're not stopping there. So we're really excited about other stablecoins coming to market because the way that we see the future going, right? Like there is a bit of a duopoly between Tether and Circle, right? They control 99% of the market when it comes to dollar coins. There will be many other issuers that will be issuing stablecoins on chain. Also, some of these include non-dollar stablecoins. So we're working with Monerium on the euro. So this is really exciting, right? Like we're in Europe, right? Like we're in the European Union. So obviously the dollar is like a huge part of the global economy. It's a huge part of DeFi, of crypto. But the euro, is also a huge part of the our real world economy as well. And so we're working with Monerium to issue a euro stablecoin. It's very interesting. You can actually generate a Noble address with an IBAN account. So you onboard with Monerium, you get an IBAN account, like a bank account, and you can actually generate an on-chain Noble wallet where you can start minting euros, which is really cool, right? Like right now, if I want USDC, I can't do that. I have to go through Coinbase or an exchange or something like this. So Monerium is a very cool project. They're kind of natively, supporting euro stablecoins within the European banking system, which is really amazing. We work with others, mostly U.S. treasury companies like Ondo and Hashnote, and we're going to continue to work with issuers that we think are, reputable, reliable, stable, and that are doing some pretty cool stuff on the back end to connect, banking, TradFi with the on-chain economy. And so that brings me, I guess, to my second point, which is we're also going to be building product on Noble itself just to make it really easy, again, to swap between these different stablecoins, right? Like, we've done a lot of volume, right? We have a lot of activity of USDC. The treasury bill products are kind of going up slowly. But it's still not really easy on-chain to get good pricing for these different currencies or for these different assets. So we're going to be working to build a swapping product. So if you can imagine, kind of if you're familiar with like the Ethereum ecosystem, something like a Curve stable swap product, but purpose-built for a more multi-chain context, right? Like as Cosmos builders, we do believe there will not be one chain to rule them all, right? You're going to have a proliferation of many app chains, many roll-ups, many distinct execution environments. And so we want to make it easy for developers and end users and companies to tap into that kind of on-chain liquidity in a way that's like fair, good pricing, good UX, and again, is more tailored to a multi-chain context. Okay, so this is something I talk a lot about because even still with like all of these different ecosystems, whether that's Cosmos or Move or the EVM or others, the UX is still pretty bad, right? Like for the end user, for a developer, like it's not easy, right? And so for us, we're really focused on making sure the UX around Noble is just really easy. Again, you should be able to tap into USD liquidity on day one if you have your own, Cosmos project, right? You shouldn't, again, have to go to Circle, set up a complicated bridging environment. We don't want that. So, for people in the room that are obviously Cosmos native, this is pretty familiar to you, right? Like the idea that you can pay gas in USDC on Noble is you have that in Cosmos anywhere. Any chain could technically offer gas fees in a stablecoin. You don't have this elsewhere, right? Ethereum is not built for this, right? On Ethereum, it's ETH for gas, right? Same with the layer 2s. On Arbitrum, it's still ETH for gas. So anyways, we're pretty much taking advantage of all of the amazing properties of the Cosmos stack and just making it more mainstream and more accessible, obviously for the existing kind of developers and projects, but also beyond that as well. And then we make it really easy for asset issuers to bring liquidity to Cosmos. I talked about this, right? We're working with, many entities, Circle, Ondo, Monerium, and others. I'm not going to repeat myself. I don't know, maybe some people are in the room that made these tweets, but yeah, this is what we love, users and happy paths, right? So really easy to use Noble's platform for stablecoins, for minting, for various use cases. So this is the thing that motivates us, and that's all. Thank you. I don't know how long that was, but we could do Q&A. Yeah? Maybe for a few minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes.
Sure.
Yes, thank you very much for this nice presentation. You mentioned in the beginning that you didn't want Noble to have lots of stuff, lots of modules, lots of things, and be really purpose-built for stablecoins. But then you mentioned you wanted to add a swap capability, a lending capability, and I wonder, I understand, for example, the swap capability because you want to swap between those stablecoins.
Yeah.
But then where does it stop?
Yeah, it's a really good question. If you look at the Noble code base, it's pretty minimalistic, and we're very proud of that. For these use cases, you mentioned swapping makes sense. We're only going to be building products that we think we could do a better job at. We're never going to build a DEX. We're never going to be like a full-on DEX. There's so many projects doing that. That's been done. The thing that we want to build, because among friends, right? We issue these. Okay, so the euro is a good example, right? There's only 250,000 worth of the euro. That's not a lot, and there's a huge market. But the issue is, right now, to go between, let's say, the dollar and the euro is pretty much there's one pool on Osmosis. And Osmosis is just not focused on stablecoins, right? And so we pretty much only want to build products where we think we can offer superior pricing and superior UX, honestly. So swaps, as you said, it makes sense. Lending is an interesting one. So right now, a huge use case for Noble is simply DYDX. So a lot of USDC is minted on Noble and is taken to a DYDX trading account. Lending is a good idea, right? Because you could technically borrow dollars against Atom, for example, on Noble, and in one click take that to DYDX, which you already have a marketplace for. So again, just trying to make it easier for people to honestly, to use stablecoins and to kind of continue the behavior we're already seeing, but kind of amplify that. Because again, right now it's very simple. It's pure minting and burning. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Do you want to talk maybe a bit more about the bridge? I think I was very excited when I saw that.
Which bridge?
Well, you.
Oh, Noble Express. Oh, sorry. Yeah. That's a great. Okay. Yes.
Which bridge?
I should have talked about that. Okay. Again. So we built. It's actually pretty cool. It's simple for us, but then you talk to people outside of Cosmos, and they're like, "Whoa, that's really cool." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess it is." So Noble Express is a front end. It's a front end, and under the hood is Noble's implementation of Circle's bridge, the cross-chain transfer protocol, and then a combination of IBC and a forwarding module. So pretty much in one click, you can go between, any protocol with native USDC, right? Ethereum, Arbitrum, Solana, you know, it's a long list, to any Cosmos chain. No slippage, one-to-one, you know, et cetera. And so, yeah, I mean, you don't even get this in EVM. Like, going between layer 2s is still complicated, which I think is just crazy. But it is. And going between Ethereum and layer 2s is really complicated. And so, yeah, for USDC specifically, we wanted a front end where we could, you know, just have a very simple experience of allowing people to go between point A and point B with, you know, the best route available, which is actually Circle's bridge, right? Like, we don't really need bridges doing like market making on either side anymore for USDC. We still need that for other assets, but not USDC. And so we simply kind of took advantage of our existing implementation of CCTP, where we were actually the first non-EVM implementation of Circle's bridge. The second one was Solana. And that's actually a big deal because Circle is very, very strict when it comes to who works with them. And yeah, I mean, good examples. You can go between Solana and Osmosis in like a few seconds. Yeah, it's really nice.
So it's no slippage, meaning whether you swap like $100 or $100 million, you get the exact same amount on the other side.
Yeah, it's not an AMM, right? So slippage means you're routing through a pool. There's no pool that you're routing through. You're simply burning USDC on Solana, and then you're minting it on the destination, and then Noble facilitates that hop. Yeah, so I mean, it's called Noble Express, but you, for all intents and purposes, if you're not Cosmos native, you don't even know what Noble is. So and that's the point. Like, you shouldn't actually care which chain is performing this function. Yeah.
And can you use Noble Express to swap USDC from between two non-Cosmos chains as well? Yeah. Actually, that's a huge use case. I was actually chatting with the CTO of Solana about this, and he's used Noble Express, and that's how he knows us. But yeah, he'll use it to go between Sol and ETH or whatever. Yeah. I mean, we're agnostic, right? Yeah.
Very cool service.
Thank you.
I was very happy, everybody.
Thank you.
It's still in beta now.
Yeah. So we're releasing a V1, and it's going to look really, really good. Yeah. It's going to look amazing. Yeah. So we're releasing that in about a month. Yeah. It's even better. And yeah, you could do ledger signing, and it's like a better interface. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. It means a lot. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
What's Noble Dollar?
Noble Dollar, you'll find out tomorrow. It's really exciting. Yeah. It's a new stablecoin. Okay, so it's a new stablecoin. It's $1, but it's actually very, very cool. So we're working with a team called M0. So M0 is like X MakerDAO, X Circle. It's a really amazing project. And we're working with them on the first branded stablecoin on their protocol, which is called the Noble Dollar. And the cool thing about the Noble Dollar is you can actually programmatically share yield on-chain with any distribution partner. So right now, Tether, the reason they're making billions of dollars is because they keep all of the yield from the Tether that's issued, right? It's a brilliant business, to be honest. Circle, same thing, although they make less. This idea is, what if you had $1 in the same way that you have the USDC, and you have Tether and other dollars, but the T-bills or the reserve that is collateralizing this dollar can actually be shared from a yield perspective with any entity. It could be an end user, it could be a pool, it could be the entire validator set, it could be a fintech, it could be a neobank, it could be anything. It's really, really brilliant. So we're the first partner of M0 to kind of launch a branded stablecoin that kind of performs this function. And yeah, we're really excited to see kind of more competition on stablecoin design because, I mean, it's a very amazing product, right? Like Tether and USDC, these are amazing products, but there's a lot more, I think, that could be done to align distributors and issuers, honestly. Because we do so much work, right, to get hundreds of billions of dollars of transaction volume, and it's great, and projects benefit. But what if you could actually share some of that yield of that volume with your customers? So yeah, that's the alpha. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Are you worried that Circle's going to be worried?
No. No, not at all. Yeah. Okay.
All right, big thank you to Jelena.
Thank you.